Alright. Time for me to correct some misinformation I was spreading. It's not an M16 he's holding. It's an M4A1. I'm sorry, I can't tell the difference between the two upon immediate visuals, and I only know to correct myself on that because another bit of misinformation that I spread was that I didn't show that off. I forgot, for some reason, that I did go out of my way to get that one. Normally I stop at the gun before that one's available, but for some reason I decided to continue on and get that one. I don't know why, and I don't know how I even forgot that, but can you ever forgive me? Well, regardless of whether you forgive me or not, I promised I would talk about aiming techniques and how this game determines where bullets hit, and why it's best to start from the top to the bottom, because when you're shooting and you've got several zombies lined up, your bullets are going to show preference towards the ones in front and the ones towards the top of the screen. You're going to see the effects of that here in a bit, because there's going to be several annoying instances where zombies will shield more important targets because of how and when they spawned in. This is my preferred loadout, the bolt-action rifle, because that gun's amazing, and the Uzi, because that's a really good automatic backup weapon. And the M4, I think, does more damage, but you risk more to get it. In fact, I think I was just having such good luck that I decided to go out of my way to get it, because normally I lose a lot more survivors searching than I did. No, it's all luck-based. Not as luck-based as the sequel, but we'll talk about when we talk about that. Yeah, normally this is the part where I stop searching at all, but I just decided to go for it. I don't know why, and I don't know why I stopped at the M4 if I was bothering to go past the Uzi. There's only 2 more guns, and they're both really good, so I don't know. I was in a weird... My mindset was weird when I was recording this. Alright, so SWAT police officers start showing up, and this is going to introduce zombies with body armor, to where you can only hit them in the head and in the legs. The head being the more, effective place to shoot, but the legs being the easier target. The SWAT officers aren't the worst of it. We'll be seeing soldiers here later that have been infected. And they have helmets, making their head target even smaller. But yeah, as far as bullets go, they prefer more forward targets than they do top targets. So if there's something on top and something that's further ahead than it, they'll hit the further ahead target before the one on top. It's just if they're on the same row and one's on top and one's on bottom, they'll hit the top zombie first. That's what I've come to realize. And look at the bolt action, though. I like this gun because it does a lot of damage, and its quote-unquote downside is the fact that it has to reload after every shot, except that is such a non-issue, because not only does it reload really fast, but it prevents you from forgetting that you hadn't reloaded the gun when you swap weapons. Because that's primarily what screws me over the most, is I'll swap weapons, and then I'll swap back, forgetting to reload, and then, I won't have any ammo when I go back to the M4 in this case. Yeah, it does more damage than the Uzi. It's just... The Uzi is fine. Like, there's no reason to go past the Uzi, I find, but I did it this time, so... But as you can see now, I'm just spending an hour repairing and not even risking anything. And yes, despite the fact that there's one gun shown left, there is a secret gun. If you keep on searching for weapons after you finish that, that's an AK-47, is the final automatic weapon. You get some super sniper rifle if you continue to search. And it's not shown on the wall, but it is there. Its model takes place on the table. It's meant to be a secret for those who continue to search for whatever reason. Yeah, so we're at the part where the game starts to get kind of hard again. Nowhere near as hard as the beginning of the game, but it's still gonna get a little more difficult. Like, they never have me anywhere near worried, unlike the first 3 days, I find, but there's just so many of them now. You know, but that's the name of the game. They up the difficulty by just cranking out more zombies of every type. And you definitely don't want to see more fat or armored ones, because those can be annoying to get rid of. Oh yeah, they also have been introducing fat running zombies. It's probably the worst kind, actually, because, well, they have the durability of the fat ones with the mobility of the runners. It's not nice. And there you did see a soldier zombie. They're not too bad. The thing is, they're really slow. So as long as you just aim for their legs, they'll never really get to you. Like, they're not as hard as they might seem, because you don't just need to get headshots. These are just, like, they could be anything other than zombies, really. It's just generic monsters. It's just, they use the zombie apocalypse setting to make this game. But they could be anything. There's no special rules about them. Which, in this case, you know, it's not necessarily a bad thing. Maybe if it was more... Maybe if it was like a bigger game, maybe it was a bigger sort of game that I actually spent money on, I might be wondering why zombies instead of anything else, if they weren't going to implement any special rules towards headshots or anything, but as it is, it's a free 25-minute game. There's no reason to complain about it. Oh, and the goal is to ultimately reach the end of night 20. You just have to survive for 20 nights and you win. I'm on night 18. And you can imagine these last 3 are probably going to be the longest waves because of just the sheer volume of bodies thrown at me at this point. Which is good, because I'm really running out of things to talk about. I just find it kind of humorous that this entire playthrough is going to take about as long as the Sonic the Hedgehog 2 bonus video did. Maybe a little longer, but still, that's humorous to me, but... Well, as I've brought up, this is a small little waste of time game. Nothing to really sink your teeth into and get all serious about. Like that clown zombie, he's not taking anything seriously, and now he's dead. So maybe I should be taking this way more seriously than I'm preaching. I'll stop, that wasn't funny. And they will start throwing more and more of the soldiers at you. As you can see, any shots that hit the armor just don't count. And this is the unfortunate part of these fat runners. They block bullets that can be used to hit actual targets that are threatening. You know? Like the armored ones, you don't want them to get to your barricade. They're harder to deal with then. But these fat runners keep walling for the harder to kill things. Like, if I had any complaints about this game, it's that there are fat runners. Nowhere near as bad as the one complaint about zombie types that I have from the next game. Because let me hype up my hatred for the sequel now. I hate the sequel to this game. I don't think it's very fun at all. But more on that when we get there. And the difficulties of recording that I ran into. That was night 19. Believe it or not, that's the hard part. Night 20 doesn't give me so much trouble, actually. Yep, night 20. And we start off strong because my survivors actually are taking down zombies lately. It's been interesting. I think the thing is they all fire rarely, but when you have 7 of them, that's 7 people firing rarely, so it's like having a second guy at that point. Plus there's that guy in the back with a bolt-action rifle. He has to be helping, right? So maybe he counts as one. Maybe our 7 people is like 3 people, in effect. Yeah, but look at this. It's nowhere near as chaotic as it was on night 19. Like, they aren't piling up. You know, they're allowing me to line up my shots and not have too many bodies in between. The bolt-action rifle, as you've probably noticed, can hit up to 2 targets. The bullet will penetrate one body and into the next. Another reason I really like it. And that's the game. The ending's pretty simple. Helicopter comes down and gestures us into the rescue. I botched that sentence. I should stop right now. Do I recommend this game? Yes. There are no credits, so that's all you're getting. Have a good day. I'll see you next time. Visit ArmorGames.com. It's a good website.